Okay, y'all, it is day 7 in Seasons of Hustle Bootcamp. So who is ready to dive in and finish the rest of chapter 5, the hustle habit? So this is the hustle habit part 2 because there was so much goodness in that chapter. We had to split it up over 2 days. So yesterday we talked about SMART goals. We talked about eating frogs. We talked about power hours and blitz days. So these are all hustle habits that we want to form to create momentum in our teams and to build strong businesses. So we're going to continue that conversation today with some other things from chapter 5 that can really explode your business by creating hustle habits. One of those first things that we're going to talk about is hustle parties. So I come up with this concept actually the month that we hit platinum. So that was 2017, so November of 2017. And it was just an amazing time to get everybody together. We were doing an end of the month hustle because we really thought that we wouldn't hit platinum probably until the last day of the month. We actually hit platinum 4 days before the end of the month. So at that hustle party, we were able to focus on everybody that was there. And what we did was we did an open house style. And so I am fortunate enough that I do get to stay home with Mia and I get to have my own schedule and create my own hours. So when I typically do open houses for me, I do them for a pretty large time span because I want to be able to, as a leader to my team, have an array of times, because some people would want to come during the day while their kids at school and be home to pick up their kids, or some people couldn't come until the evening because they have a 9-to-5 job. So I typically do mine from 8 or 9 in the morning to 8 or 9 at night. Now that doesn't mean that's how you have to do yours. That's the beautiful thing about this business. We get to make everything our own. So I'm just sharing with you how I've done mine to inspire you to do yours and make yours be your own with your own touch of you. So during these open house times, what I will have people do is I will have them make a list ahead of time of things that they want to accomplish while they are here. What I will do to prepare for the event is I will have some type of crock pot food available, whether that's, a pot of soup or dips and chili, things like that. And then I also do Ninja Punch. So that way, I don't have to worry about cooking all day. People can eat, have snacky foods hanging around. And that way the focus isn't really on the food and the drinks, but it's available for people if they decide. Because I've actually had people come and stay for that span of 8, 10, or 12 hours. So those are the true hustlers who, want to absorb it all. So that's always fun too. So you can come to these things as needed, is how I run them for my team. So what is the purpose of this, and why has this been so monumental in some of the things that we've done? Okay, so when you get together and you have multiple people working on goals, you're going to be able to cheer each other on. You're going to be able to share ideas. You're going to be able to say, okay, I am only 300 OGV away in this lake and I'm just not for sure what to do. Can y'all give me some ideas? And we can brainstorm together and have you tried this? Have you tried that? Oh no, let me try that. And then they can reach out and try that. Or if they get a response from somebody and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure how to respond to this. What would you say? So I usually encourage people to say, well, what's your original thought? What would you say back? And then help them reform that verbiage a little bit to help them. So the verbiage ideas are really one of the main things that my people love when they come and attend my hustle parties or hustle open houses. Because that is a skill that I've really worked on, and my team asks me for verbiage a lot. So by sharing each other's strengths, by brainstorming and getting ideas together, I actually made a list of IPAs that we have done at Hustle Open Houses, just to give you an idea of some of the things that you can work on. So we've done sections where we want to build people's calendars. So we're going to schedule one-on-ones. We're going to schedule classes. We're going to reach out to people. We're going to help them with verbiage to reach out to those people. I've actually had people here and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm nervous and scared. I'm like, give me your laptop. And I actually will take it and say, who's the people you want to talk to? And I'll type up the message. I'm like, okay, look. I said, okay. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, great, send. And I will help them do it. It kind of helps them get over that fear. And that's been really fun because then those people start responding back and they're like, oh my gosh, I've been fearful to reach out to that person. And all it took was somebody just hopping on and helping me figure out what to say, hitting that send button. So I've actually done that for my team. It's been pretty fun. We've created online content. So we've come up with online classes. And okay, there's 5 of us here and there's 10 posts. So if we each do 2 posts, you work on these 2, you work on these 2, you work on these 2, and then there's 5 of us hosting a class. We get lots of momentum that way. We'll advertise the class, send it out to our teams. We'll create education. So if we were working, say if I was having a hustle party this month, we would say, okay, for February, we definitely want to talk about hormones and maybe a Lucy libido class, things like that. So we would work on scheduling those things as a team and what are the items we want to educate on for that month. So we would create sort of like a monthly education and decide who wants to help with that, because that's the thing is you start having bigger teams, and as you have people start emerging as leaders, you need their people to see them as leaders as well. So don't get wrapped up into, you're a leader, you need to be the one that does all the things all the time. You need those other people to rise up with you and be seen as leaders as well, because we all bring different things to the table and we all have different skills and different gifts. So we need to be sure and share that across the board. We've also used this time to invite people to classes, make care calls, help people set up their 3-month health and wellness plans, reaching out to 0 PV members, reaching out to people who ordered the previous month but didn't order on Essential Rewards and letting them know, hey, if you would have ordered on Essential Rewards, you would have got XYZ product free plus this many points back. Do you know about Essential Rewards? Can I send you some more information? So things like that. People who are about to go inactive or people who have already went inactive and help reactivate them. Following up with your personally enrolled members. So you should do personally enrolled members. You should always keep really in close contact with them, and you should do extra things for them in my vision than you do for everybody else. So they should get an extra special touch because they're your personally enrolled people. So use a little bit of that time to maybe come up with a different idea to do for them. Send out cards, send out happy mail, try to figure out, like, hey, I've got 3 extra of these books and I really want to share them with somebody. So reach out to them and say, hey, if I send you this book, will you tell me your favorite takeaway? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, great. I'm going to send it to you. I'll follow up with you in 3 to 5 days to see if you've gotten it. So you can even schedule project broadcast during that time. So I will help my team schedule campaigns and text and project broadcast, because project broadcast can really help you follow up with your team. We'll talk more about that tool later in Bootcamp, but I know many of you have that and use it already. Okay, we have also brainstormed if somebody is saying, hey, I want to go for this goal within the next 2 to 3 months. We've actually helped rank map them and help them figure out where they need to grow, how many new enrollments they need, how many people on ER they need, how many OGV they need each month. So really kind of help them map out what reaching that goal looks like. One of my favorite things about collaborating together as a team is everybody gets to see everybody else's value, and you get to add different things. You get all the different personality colors coming together. So it's just a much more collective effort, and it's so much more fun to do it than sitting by yourself and doing it. So that is one of the things I love about the open houses, is bringing people together. Okay, but there's still more IPAs that we have done at these that I haven't told you about yet. So reaching out to your future Young Living members. So we will take an allotted amount of time and be like, okay, y'all, we're going to reach out to these people, and the first person that signs somebody up today, I'm going to do something for, or we're all going to do a shot at Ninja or whatever. Or maybe it's a happy dance, Doesn't have to be a giveaway, but just make it fun. We even have confetti cannons is something I'm going to order and do at a upcoming one when it gets warm outside, or we can pop confetti when things happen. So there's all kinds of different ways to make it fun. Help each other reach out to those people on your Frank list. We talked about Frank lists yesterday, and I feel like people make the list, but then they have that really hard step of actually reaching out to people. So when you're sitting together as a group and all of you are like, okay, yeah, I have this person I want to reach out to. Like, yeah, I kind of have a person like that too. Okay, so what should we say? And it just kind of helps people get a little bit more courage when you are doing it together as a unit. How about increasing your ER percentage and working on ER enrollments? That's an IPA we've done during these. We have also reached out to people who, I don't know if you know, that when you look at your virtual office and you look at the ER dates, there's that little box and it will have a check mark once it's processed. When it's not processed, you can actually hover over that little box and it will tell you the pending amount for their ER order. So if I was to hover over that and I had somebody at 168 PV, I would reach out to them and be like, hey Sally, I see that your ER order processes on the 10th and today's the 7th, so you got 3 days to change your order if you want to make updates to it, because I wanted to let you know you're 22 PV away from getting XYZ product for free. And here's the things I love about that product. Do you need help? Or can I answer any more questions? So that is a great income producing activity because it grows your OGV. And you can do that for any level of the promo. So a lot of times people are even like 1 or 2 PV away and they just don't understand how the promo works. So be sure you're communicating the promo in a way and touching on it at least once a week if you're educating in a big forum somewhere. And make sure your people understand what PV means. A lot of people I get to this day that have been customers for a couple years that I've assumed that their upline has told them what PV is and how to earn the promo. They're like, I just get free stuff. I don't really know how I get it. So be sure you're communicating that to your people. I actually print out the promo and take it to all my classes and explain it in every class, and also give that visual of, hey, here's what's on the table for this month and here's the value if you're ordering it. Okay, doing Facebook Lives is a group. Okay, so it's so fun when there's a group of you together to get on and do a Facebook Live somewhere, whether it's on a personal page, in a group, whatever topic we're excited about that day. If we're doing an English challenge, maybe we'll do a boomerang with a big group of us. So get on and do some social media posts. Help each other with like I've been sitting with people and they get out their oil and they put it on and they say something. I'm like, that's a perfect post. Why don't you post that? I'm like, I never would have thought about it. So then we recreate that. We do the post. So just helping each other point out the strengths that you see is so powerful. We also do mentorship during this time. So if somebody's struggling with something and they need us to, really fill their cup in a certain area, we work on that during this time. And then another fun thing to do during this time is to create team challenges. So, like a 30-day Ninja challenge, a 30-day Indiflex challenge, a 7-day sleep challenge. I mean, there's all kinds of fun things that you can do. Right now, the sleep challenge is happening through Young Living. That should be something you're working on and making sure that your teams know that that's available, because that's something Young Living is providing for us. So use those tools that they give us. So another thing that I really like about open houses is do them on the days that you know are going to be hustle days anyway. So Cyber Monday and Black Friday, I had open houses on both of those this year. And oh my gosh, it was so much more fun to have a house full of people and to watch everybody's numbers grow. And I had cross lines here along with team, and just seeing everybody's excitement. That was super, super fun. Okay, so I want to know who's inspired, who wants to go do a hustle party now. It doesn't need to be 50 people. Even if you just have 2 or 3 people there, you got to start somewhere. So don't think you have to have a team of 1,500 plus people to do a hustle party. You can do it with just a few people or even just one person. Start it and be consistent with it. They are so fun. Okay, so the next thing that we talk about in chapter 5 is the reverse hustle. Okay, so who is guilty that at the end of the month they work like a bad woman? Okay, oh my gosh, it's the last day of the month or the last 2 days of the month, and I have all these people's ERs that didn't process. I need to get fixed, and oh my gosh, I thought so-and-so was going to sign up and I need to reach out to them, and this person's only this far away from a rank, and you get flustered and you're like, all the things. Okay, let's take a deep breath and let's think about if we did the reverse hustle. So what if all that energy you put into the last 2 or 3 days of the month, you put into the beginning of the month? And you give your goal of the 15th of the month to have everything done. And you have 2 weeks instead of 2 to 3 days to really focus on helping everybody else reach their ranks, providing support where needed, following up where needed, help finishing everyone's goals. So the reverse hustle is an idea that came from Happy Hangout, which is a group that Madison Vining runs. It's a paid group that you can become a part of, but that's one of the places that I've heard that, and I've heard several teams talk about the reverse hustle. Okay, so the final thing that we're going to talk about tonight is probably one of my favorite things in Young Living. It is probably by far the biggest thing I respect about our community, and I am so appreciative of, and that is our cross-line friendships and collaboration. So when you start going to convention and you start earning retreats through Young Living and you're attending rallies and you're attending these corporate-led events, you meet a ton of cross-line, okay? And think about it, when you're on all these retreats at Diamond and Up, you are going to be there with all these other diamonds. So you want to have relationships with your cross-lines because you're going to be traveling the world together with these people. So the people that are at your same rank, those are going to be the people who change the perspective of your business, or have for me. So I want to tell you a story about a group of us that met because of a post in a Young Living group for goals. There was a post that said, hey, we're thinking about doing a post of a day and just want like 8 or 10, 12 people to comment. So like anytime each one of us does a post, then we'll put it in a group and then each person will comment. So we were just helping each other try to keep the Facebook algorithms growing where people were seeing our post by helping each other comment on their post. And so we called ourselves the Pod Squad, which is the post of the day. So the Pod Squad is a group of 13 of us. When we started, I think we all were golds. We met in a group called Gold Mingle. And several of us have ranked platinum since then, and I think we've been friends. I know we've had the group for a year, but we met several months before that. So we talk on Marco Polo all the time. We actually have a Facebook group for us to share files with each other. And so that group has created lasting friendships, all because we all answered on a post. And we have just amazing different personalities, but we really mesh well together. We talk about faith and life and family and what's going on in our businesses. And so what is so different about cross-line relationships? And I guess I should define what a cross-line is in case some of you don't know what that term is. So a cross-line would be somebody that you are not monetarily making money off of in your business. So for me, it would be anybody in Young Living outside of my organization. So that is the definition of cross-line. So when you can create things together, when you can brainstorm together, when you can share your struggles with people who are at the same rank, when you can celebrate your successes with those at the same rank, and you go on these trips together and you see each other, and it's just an amazing feeling to be lifted up by not only your team, your upline, your downline, but these cross lines as well. We love to see each other succeed. We want oils in every home. So we want that amazing community of Young Living across the world. So I love to see those people that are my cross-line friends. I've done rallies with cross lines. I've done my retreat. I invited cross lines to. So I'm a big cross-line love person. But it is just an amazing way to build confidence in yourself as a leader, to share your strengths. If you guys get along, if you find a group of people that you get along really well with, you can, be like, hey, we're all thinking about this. Let's work on it together. And then you're not recreating the wheel. If you had something that really worked well for your team, share that idea for somebody else to use. You've done it, you've used it, it's great. Okay, share that idea, just like I'm doing with you guys with everything in the book with Seasons of Hustle. Share the things that have brought you success, because we want Young Living as a company to succeed, and we want it to always be here. So I am forever grateful for my Pod Squad, so shout out to all my Pod Squad girls. I see some of you are on here. Thank you guys for joining me. So tonight, that is where we're going to end. We're going to end with some cross-line love, and your only homework tonight, I've left it really light for homework, is I want you guys to find a couple new cross-line friends this month. So it could be other people that are doing boot camp that you're seeing commenting, that maybe you really like the things that they're commenting with, or you have the same goals, things like that. So try to hook up with a cross-line this month. I would encourage you to do at least 3, but I'll be happy if you at least do 1, create a new relationship. And that is your homework. So tomorrow, I'm really excited. So tomorrow we're going to start with Seasons of Growth section in the book, and that's going to help us start diving into the real IPAs that you guys are really wanting to know about, which is enrolling new members and getting your team on ER and increasing your ER orders. So I'll be excited to see you all tomorrow for day 8.